Just start recording. So hi there, Bob. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine, thank you.
So if you could present yourself, tell us a little bit about your history in bridge. How long have you been playing? How did you feel about bridge for the past few years?
Yeah, well, I started playing bridge when I was in college. And, I just played with my friends and whatnot. And when I graduated, I stopped playing and, concentrated on, work and family and that kind of thing. And when I retired, just by chance, I happened to see a advertisement in our local community paper about a bridge class. So my wife and I started the class, and I kept that up. My wife got kind of tired of it, but so she dropped out. But I kept at it, and I've been at it about maybe 12 years or so. I've been playing duplicate, for about 12 years. Mm-hmm.
So, and what did you feel about it as a part of your life, and how big it was?
Well, when I was in college, it was just a recreation. And when I retook started taking it up again, I took classes, and I got more and more interested in it as a kind of academic or intellectual kind of pursuit. And so I've been trying to learn more about it. And it takes up a fair amount of my time since I'm retired. I have plenty of that though. So it's been a part of my life since I took it back up. I also got active a little bit in the administration of bridge. I was president of our Central Ohio Bridge Association for a couple of years, served on the board. And but since then, I have not been active in the administration of bridge in Columbus.
And you wrote a book about it, right?
Yeah. I should mention my co-author Tim Cole, who did all the drawings for it. He actually proposed the book originally, and then I said I'd be interested in it, but I wasn't sure of any thing I could contribute. I mean, I am by no means a bridge expert, so my contribution I thought could be in what I did. I was a social psychologist and sociologist. I taught at Ohio State University, and so I thought I had some expertise in that. I also have some expertise in data analysis, so I thought I could bring that to the book. And so part of the book is a lot of the social aspects of playing bridge, how you interact with your partners, how to treat your opponents, learning theory, these kinds of things, a little bit about probability. And then the balance of the book is just pretty standard stuff. I just tried to write it as plainly as simply as possible.
Yeah, bridge is a multi-dimensional game, so there's all kinds of perspectives to look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have been part of our program, The Bridge Can Be Easier, for the past 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, give or take a few. And what do you think about it? Give us the lowdown.
Well, I really didn't know what to expect when I signed up for the program. Now, I should tell that I had been taking lessons from you before the program. Well, this was before the pandemic lockdown, but not long after I took my first in-person lesson from you, bridge locked down. So we were forced onto the internet, and I was taking lessons there, and then you made this program available. So I said, well, rather than take the lesson, I'll try this program. And the program is turned out to be quite different from the lesson. Well, certainly from the in-person lessons. So I've enjoyed the format. Playing against a robot, I guess you could call it supervised play or coaching or mentoring as you play, rather than trying to teach a specific curriculum about what bridge is. And so the ongoing kind of flexibility of it I found to be quite enjoyable. Although I'll admit that a lot of times I'm kind of lost as to what's going on.
hopefully that's becoming more and more rare.
Well, I'm hoping that it is, and I've been trying to apply some of the things you said when I play. I play almost every day during the week. And so I've been trying to go through the checklists and trying to envision hands and asking myself various questions about what's going on. And I think my level of play has improved, although I can't think of anything magical about it. It's just gotten incrementally better step by step. And I think I have a better idea of what to do and how to think about the problems as we go along, especially on defense. I find myself thinking more and more about various layouts, various possibilities, assessing the possibility of defeating the opponent's contract, and asking myself, well, if we're going to defeat it, what do I have to do? What does my partner have to do? And try to execute that plan. If I'm declaring, of course, it's kind of a conversation with myself. So I have to kind of go through this exercise that you've been trying to encourage me to do.
So the whole goal of the program in a nutshell is to create the habits that will help to dispel the fog that so many players have when they are presented with a bridge problem. And do you think that it's improving in the past few weeks?
Yeah, well, I've always been in the fog, but I think the fog is getting a little thinner. You see a little further into it, and one of the things I've always thought about learning bridge, of the student learning bridge, is that it's fairly easy to learn conventions if you just read them. I've always said that Lebensol, which is generally regarded as the hardest convention for a new player to learn, I said, well, heck, that's no harder than, I don't know, learning an algebra problem. Something you could do in a day or two, certainly. But the hard part was trying to figure out what was going on in the play of a hand, and who has what's the best card to lead, what's the best signal to give, to kind of structure what's going on. And so I've often thought that the ability to think through the problem rather than the ability to just by rote memory apply a convention or agreement is much more important. And so, not to say that I think conventions are unimportant. I think they're very important. But I always thought that the importance of the convention was that once you start the convention, make the conventional bid, your thought processes are over. You just follow the convention, and the convention does the thinking for you. But whereas trying to figure out what to lead, what to discard, what signal to give, how to approach the hand.
Well, I don't wish, because if it were that easy, bridge would be much less interesting. But some people think that conventions and systems do the hard work for you, and they actually don't. They create perhaps a safer environment for you to be creative if you and your partner on the sound footing.
Yeah.
But one thing that prevents us in the program from devoting too much time to conventions and bidding systems is that they are so partnership dependent. So you really have to have a partner to develop conventions in depth, and otherwise it will probably do more harm than good if you don't have a partner to study with.
Yeah, I do have a couple of partners I like to explore conventions and talk about them. But I found that, most of the time, what gives us trouble is judgment, hand evaluation, the right signal, the right approach, and, rather than every now and then we blow a convention. That just happens.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for it. That was pretty much it.
Okay.
interview about the course. I'll open the floor if you want to make any comments about the course or about bridge in general, anything that springs to your mind.
Well,
If-
I would say my off the cuff comment about the course is that I think I benefited greatly from it. One of the things I think I've mentioned to you before is that it's a very gradual kind of improvement. It's not something that all of a sudden you go from 180 degrees overnight. But I think it's something that just requires a lot of time and thought and patience. I think bridges requires a lot of patience to get better at it. Very steep learning curve on it. And I also think, as I believe you mentioned all the time, it teaches you to be kind of stoical. Things don't always go the way you think they should go, or the probability doesn't work. So you just have to accept it, and that's the way it is.
Sometimes in our sessions, there are situations which we think, well, it appears things are like that, and then they're completely unlike that.
Right.
And somebody did something foolish or unexpected, and these things happen.
Yeah.
And
Well,
really like life.
yeah, that's like life.
Anyway, thanks again, Bob.
Okay.
And see you in the
My
next
pleasure.
session.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
My pleasure. We'll see you. Bye-bye.